welcome to our heart medicine, our Tuesday night class. And just want to appreciate Baba Ram Dass's meditation. I am loving awareness, and just helps me to meditate before coming in with you all. And wow, powerful night, powerful time to be alive and to be practicing. I feel very blessed to be able to do this with you every Tuesday. And for all of you who are new, I really want to welcome you to our class where we really focus on the medicine of the heart. And I'm holding my heart right now because my heart has been, wow, lots happening with the fires in LA and all of the changes. And so I'm very excited not only to do these practices with you tonight, but also to do an extra special practice at the end of our 30 minutes to really send our metta out to include Mother Earth and to send that resonant energy out into the universe. And I want to say that tonight we're also going to be focusing on the power of compassion. I'm going to be doing a 2-part talk, and the first half will cover, and then the second half will be next Tuesday. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. About some of the things about compassion that I always knew, but I'm learning more and more about this energy, and how it's such a refuge and so much resilience. So this class is really about that resiliency, right? It's about how do we take refuge in the heart? How do we trust? And how do we listen? And how do we follow? And how do we heal our hearts, right? This is what's happening for so many of us. We might feel brokenhearted, and we come here and we find that strength in these practices. And so may they nurture you, they nurture me. I've been practicing a lot. In fact, I'm going to enter into like a self-retreat here at my house and really begin to practice many hours. We have a superpower. We have Chenra Zig, the Bodhisattva of compassion, and Harriet Tubman always, of course. And so we're going to be evoking all of our angels and guides to help amplify and resonate this energy, so that we receive the blessings. The power of loving kindness cannot be underestimated. And so I want to share a little bit more about how we do the practice. And so happy all of you who are joining. I hope you have a comfortable place, because this is a practice. This is going to be some time to really go in. The thing about these practices is they only work if you do them. Some people tell me, I love talks on compassion. I love to hear about it. I'm like, yes, but we must practice. And that is like, the workout. That's the spiritual workout. And it can be a lot. You can actually be activating your heart during this time, and you could feel emotion. So I want to, whatever you feel through the class or whatever comes up after the class is all part of it. It's almost like we're melting, and it's not always a familiar feeling for us, right? And so this practice that we're going to work with tonight, the metta practice, again, as a reminder, these are the practices given to us by the Buddha. But of course, the Buddhas of galaxies and millenniums and lifetimes and eons, right? But this practice was given as an antidote to fear. And it's used around the world. And I'm going to talk about some of this more tonight as a way to find that peace within ourselves. As you see right now, we are deep into the great turning, right? It's happening. It's been happening, but we might see this acceleration of what feels like impermanence as things seem to be dissolving around us. Where do you find that stability? This heart medicine practice is what is giving me life. I've known it, but now I'm knowing it on deeper levels. So let's practice it together. The metta, as we know, is this loving kindness. The word means loving kindness, right? It's a Pali word. And it means friendliness. So your goal tonight for this period of practice is I want you to be focused solely on your own body and heart and mind, your precious self. And we're going to be sending this metta for the first 30 minutes of the practice to yourself. Okay. So it's a visualization. It takes a little concentration to do metta, right? But it's a visualization. So as we're sitting here, I want you to start with the visualization of yourself as if you're looking in a mirror. Or if you have a photo, I sometimes encourage people to get a beautiful photo of themselves and put it on the altar, right? Often we don't put ourselves on our altar. We think, who am I to be on the altar? Well, who are you not to be on the altar, right? You should be on your own altar. And so as you look into that mirror and you see yourself, we begin to offer these phrases over and over. May I be happy and peaceful, right? We'll put them in the chat message, right? May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. We say, may I be safe and protected because we want all beings to be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong. We say that to our bodies, right? May this body that's so alive, this living system, it's like, it's alive, right? It's life, force, energy, right? So we're sending love to our bodies. And then may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And that, my friends, we say to the present moment, right? However life is in this moment, wherever you're calling in from, wherever you are in this moment, what you're experiencing is like, can I live with ease and joy, trusting in that? And just right before we start, I want to just see where people are coming in from. Let's welcome everybody for a few moments here. Maybe you can put your location. I always love to do our shouts out to folks all around. I see some of our favorite friends online. We have the Bay Area. We have all these different Austin, Texas. And let's make sure we have everyone should be on mute as we look through here. And we have, look at all these beautiful folks all over. Ah, yay. Welcome everybody. Toronto, Ontario, Florida, Marin, West Hollywood, Austin, Truckee, Missouri and Vermont. Welcome everybody. A lot of people from LA. Katie, sending you so much love. Wisconsin, as always, to our beautiful friends in Oakland. And so here we are together. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Your higher self also thanks you. Your heart also thanks you. So we can do this practice with your hand on your heart. Some people like to do that, and I encourage it. When you feel that it's just becoming a mental exercise instead of a feeling, what we're going for is to feel that feeling of friendliness, warmth, right? So I often think about seeing myself the way Kuan Yin sees me, right? The eyes of love and kindness, that loving energy, right? We're generating that, right? Metta is already in you. You're revealing it, you could say, through this practice. So the visualization and then the phrases. Keep the phrases going, like a waterfall effect, right? The mind will endlessly wander. Is this working? I don't know. I'm bored. I need to go outside. The mind will, and we just keep coming back, right? May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected, right? And you can take your time. I will guide as we go along here, but there'll be times where I'll pause, and then there'll be times where I will just naturally come in with a few phrases. At the end, I will then ask for us to do a collective practice, okay? And this will be where we're going to envision the earth. We're going to be sending out the metta. There's a song that I love that I listen to when I'm doing prayers. We'll play that and it'll be the extended Earth 5-minute super metta. So we do that at the end. So you should have some juice by then, right? We got some good energy going, and then we're going to expand that, and we're going to include California, the fires, but not just even the fires in California. There are fires raging all over this planet right now. And so we send our love to Mother Earth, and we imagine the song has some water backdrops in there. And so we just going to imagine that these fires that are so destructive and people running and dying, and we want to imagine rain and balance. So that will be at the end, and I'll guide us into that. Okay. So here we go. Get in a place that's comfortable. I want to encourage you to be comfortable, but not asleep. That's the danger with too much comfort in meditation practice, right? So good to have your back up and your heart elevated, right? You want to feel that you have your chest forward, not in an uncomfortable way, but you're going to, you're evoking the heart center right now. We're calling on our hearts to unite, the global heart, the resonant heart, right? We're awakening that, and never underestimate the power of your heart. I'll say more about that, but you practicing is healing all beings, because you are all beings. We are one ecosystem. So focusing on yourself is the most beautiful, benevolent action that you can actually take right now, because we feel each other's hearts. You remind me and I remind you. Okay, so let's begin with a little body scan. So as you begin to close your eyes, take a breath in and take a breath out. And just with the exhale, just see if you can just let go and soften. And beginning with your head, imagine your spirit is coming down through your head. You're arriving in your body in this moment. And so you might want to soften your face and your jaw. Let your face be soft, your jaw be soft. Allow your shoulders to be soft, and maybe you need to move your shoulders around a little bit. And soften them. Bring your awareness now to your arms and your hands, and notice how your hands are placed, and see if you can just soften them. We want to allow our nervous systems to begin to settle, and they do that through loving awareness. So bringing your attention now to the heart center, and just take some breaths in and out through the chest, the center of the chest. And on the exhale, you might say the word peace. And on the inhale, you say the word peace, and begin to notice how that affects your body as you just breathing in peace, breathing out peace. If there's emotions that are present, we just honor them. We allow them. Now bring your awareness deep into the belly. Underneath the belly button is the hara. It's our place of a lot of power, but also a lot of emotion as we digest life. So breathe in and out and take some belly breaths, deep breaths here in the inhale. And then the exhale. And on the exhale, see if you can let go of any tightness or tension. As you soften your bodies, you allow the metta to go deeper. The nervous system settles. So deep belly breaths, breathing in peace into the midsection, deep into the belly, breathing out. Let the belly be soft and expansive. And now feel your sitting bones on the cushion or the chair. Or wherever it is that you're making contacts, feel that. Feel your hips and your legs. Feel your knees. And feeling your calves and your ankles. And now your feet. See if you can feel the bottoms of your feet and the tops of your feet in whatever position. And softening of every exhale, letting go of tightness, letting go of holding on. And with each breath, we arrive deeper into the presence, into the body, into our hearts. And now bringing the awareness back to the heart center. And as you breathe, begin to bring up an image of yourself. And you can use an image at a young age that is also quite supportive to see yourself very young, if that's helpful. Sometimes even as a baby. We do this practice in a way that supports it. What helps you to generate that friendliness toward yourself? Sometimes seeing our angel selves at 3 years old or 5 years old evokes a natural metta. So see be and peaceful. And again, it can be helpful to hold your own hand if you need to, placing your left hand in your right hand or hand on heart. And saying your name over and over with each phrase can also be helpful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And so taking your time with each phrase, the mind wanders, just come back again and again. May I be happy and peaceful. Hold the image of yourself as clear as you can. You could also use the words, may you be safe and protected. If using you instead of I is easier, may you, dear one, be healthy and strong in this body. May I live with ease and joy and well-being. And continually relax any part of the body that feels tight. Let it soften. Let the breath be soft. Take your time. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. May I live with ease and joy and well-being. So let us say them over and over. Each phrase is different. Each phrase is a seed. And so on your own here for a few moments, stay connected, come back to your heart again and again. See yourself through the eyes of the Great Mother, through the eyes of Kuan Yin. And keep softening the belly. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And staying as connected as you can. And keep coming back. Each phrase is a gift. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And stay connected to the image or to the feeling of the hand on the heart as we are just practicing one seed at a time, one phrase at a time. And you could also use the phrases, may my heart be happy and peaceful. May my heart be safe and protected. May my heart be healthy and strong. And may my heart live with ease and joy and well-being. And keep softening in your body. Staying connected to the center of the chest. Taking your time. seeing yourself through the eyes of the great mother, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, the mother of compassion, friendly, kind, as best we can. Seeing our Buddha nature. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. A few more moments here. Any friendliness, even just 2%, 3% is just perfect. Sending good wishes, kindness, and care to yourself as practice. I'm seeing your face, whatever time and age, as we offer the phrases. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. Breathing in metta through the heart center. Breathing out metta. And as we begin to expand this metta out, we're going to do a special meditation where I want us to be sending this heart energy of love and compassion out to all the beings in our lives that we love, our community and our families. May our families be happy and peaceful. May our communities be safe and protected. May our people, all of our people, be healthy and strong. And may all beings everywhere live with ease and joy. And so for the next few moments, we're going to do a special meditation just to keep expanding our metta to include all of Mother Earth right now, Gaia, Pachamama. And as we listen to this mantra, evoking the Great Mother, we hear the sounds of rain, and we just offer our prayers to all the beings being affected in California by fires, the fires throughout the world where beings are being harmed. the suffering. So let us begin this meditation. We will have some music. It's our extended metta, and try to breathe in and out of the heart as we extend this metta outward.
Come, come, Great Mother, come, Gaia. Come, come, Great Mother, come, Great Mother, come, 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 Great Mother, come, Great Gaia. Great Mother, Mary, Great Mother, come, Maya, Mahadevi, Gaia, Ishtar, Gaia, Isis. Great Mother, Great Mother, Great Mother, my Mom, 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 Great Mother, my Mom.
And with that, we're going to bring our practice to a close. So you always close with bringing my hands to the prayer position at the heart and offering yourself a bow, and bowing to your practice and bowing to your heart and bowing to compassion and love. And to our practice, no matter how it is, we keep on bowing, we keep on bowing, we keep on bowing, we keep on bowing. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and start to move your body. Whew, that was a good one. Oh, thank you all so much. I was feeling such prayers. And so, yes, if you need to move for a few moments here, move your bodies. I could feel my heart. I had this, my best friend sent me this pearl Kuan Yin. And so I could almost feel like, whoo. Oh, and so many tears. I was envisioning California and the mother holding all the beings there and the animals and the animals all over the planet and the fires that are not only raging in California, but in South America and all over, and just feeling sending so much love to Mother Earth, our metta, our heart prayers. The mother is Pachamama. So thank you all. That was a good one. Thank you, Bava. Our beautiful Bava is running all of our programs, and also my other beautiful assistant in Ecuador. We've been following all the fires there and just everywhere. It's all part of the great turning. We must find our strength to what is to come when everything feels like so impermanent. So give thanks for all of you for this heart medicine. There is the law of resonance. When people gather with an energy, it is felt throughout the cosmos. Metta and compassion. And that's what I want to talk about as we have time for our Dharma talk time. So get your tea out, get your blanket. It's cold in Georgia. As a matter of fact, there was people snowboarding down Peachtree Avenue in downtown a couple of days ago. So this climate is all over the place. But I wanted to talk about compassion and about 6 aspects of compassion. And I first want to begin with a story that kept coming in my mind a lot. I used to tell it all the time, and it just showed up today. So I'd like to begin this talk with a story about compassion. And this particular story is what is one of the Jataka tales. And in the Buddhist sutras, in the Buddhist teaching, the Jataka tales are a collection of suttas. And the collection of suttas is attributed directly to the Buddha, where the Buddha would tell stories about his past lives. And in those lives, these were the lives where he was born as an animal. And these whole Sujata Chronicles, I remember I was doing a long retreat studying and practicing, and I was reading all these old texts, and I got to all of the Jataka tales, and they were all really incredible because it was actually Siddhartha in his long journey of many lifetimes practicing. He took rebirth, as in this cosmology, in the Buddhist cosmology, we're born over and over again in different realms of existence. And there's the higher realms and the lower realms. And these realms are connected to how we live our lives. You know, we're in a hell realm, we could actually create a hell realm, right? So it's like, it's all these causes and conditions, but the idea is to always become liberated. The seed of liberation is there, right? And the Buddhist cosmology is very hopeful. It says you're born fully enlightened, but you forgot. And so the whole journey is one of this remembrance of who we are. We're always remembering. That's why your innate self is infinite compassion, infinite metta. You are that. But it's easy for beings to become lost, and then those qualities are obscured. It's like the clouds in front of the sun. We don't see the sun anymore. We just see the clouds. So the Jataka tales I always love because they say that when the Buddha was alive on the planet 2,500 years ago, when he was teaching throughout northern India, they would say that he would stop at these places and he would start laughing. He would be with a whole group of monks and nuns, and he would say, "Oh, I remember this tree in this forest. Here I was born an elephant." And then a whole story would come out. And because he had this prayer for liberation, they say that even when he was born as an animal, he always was practicing. So the Jataka tales are full of teaching stories of love and redemption and freedom and kindness, always about this journey of awakening. And so this is a story from the Jataka tales. So there's a forest hundreds of years ago, a beautiful forest. It reminds me somewhere like Costa Rica, before people moved to Costa Rica. It was an animal realm, right? All the animals lived in the forest there, the rainforest. And they said that within that forest, this beautiful golden parrot lived. And we know birds, especially parrots, they have very long lives. And so this parrot was quite older, wise, and was very renowned, you could say, in the animal kingdom. He had many friends, and he was considered a wise creature. And so they all lived quite happily in this forest together. But one day there was a storm, and the storm created a lightning flash, and the forest caught on fire. And so the parrot said to all the animal friends, the forest is caught on fire. Run to the river, go to the river, go now to the river. And he took off flying. But see, because he had wings, he could fly to the river. But all the animals, the deer and the rabbits and all these other animals that were on lakes, they were getting trapped with the fires around them. They were feeling the fires. And so he looked back, he had flown all the way to the river, and he looked back and he saw the whole forest becoming inflamed, the whole forest, flames everywhere. And he saw all of his friends crying, "Help us." And they were, being surrounded by these fires. And so the parrot said, "Okay, friends, hold on. I will put out this fire." So he dives into the river, and he gets some water on his wings, and he flies back over to the middle of the fire, and he shakes his wings, and just a couple of drops came down. Wasn't a lot of water. He goes back and he goes forth, and he goes back and forth, and he's going into the river, and he's collecting it on his wings, and he would do this little shake, but it was barely a drop of water on a raging fire at that point, right? And it was growing in intensity. It wasn't being put out. And so while he's doing this, his throat was getting scorched, his feet were getting burned, his wings and his was coughing. And this display of incredible compassion was happening. He was flying back and forth. Unbeknownst to him, high up in the God realms, there was three gods looking down. They were devas. And two of them started laughing and they said, look. And then, according to the Buddhist cosmology, those beings can see into our realm very clearly. Like, just like we can see outside our door, they can see right down into our realm. And they said, look at this little bird. He's crazy. He thinks he can put out this huge fire with just some little drops off of his wings. And they started laughing. But there was a deva, a beautiful god, who suddenly saw this beautiful golden bird going back and forth. And he thought, oh my God. And he walked away from the other gods and he sat down and he was watching and he thought, oh my God, this bird is going to die. He can't put out this fire. But he felt this tremendous love for this bird. He felt the bird struggle. He saw his friends, the other deer and the animals, and he saw the suffering of the forest and all the creatures there that were suffering and afraid. And he saw the bird going back and forth, and he said, oh no, I've got to do something. This bird is going to die at any moment. He can't sustain that. So the god shape shifts in that moment into a giant eagle, and he flies down next to the parrot and he says, go back, parrot, stay at the river. You cannot put out this fire. You're not capable. You can't put out this fire with those tiny drops falling off your wings. You are going to die. Stay at the river. Stop what you're doing. And the eagle was very powerful. And they in the story, they're side by side. He's trying to talk him out. And at that moment, the parrot's diving in the water again, coming back out, flying right over to the fire, shaking his tiny wings. At that point, he's exhausted. But he says, no, I will not stop until the fire is out. And the eagle, once again, with the even louder voice, said, go back. You cannot put out this fire. And he said, there's no use telling me that. I will continue. And the eagle was, oh my God. So he flew back up into his realm and he continued watching. But as he was watching this bird, he felt this deep sadness in his heart. But what's more than that, he saw what the bird was doing. He looked at the whole picture of what was happening. He thought, and he looked around in his heaven realm, where everybody was continuing eating. And in the suttas, the gods live for sometimes 300,000 years. And they have everything. It's kind of like the stories of like Zeus, and they live in these heavenly realms, but they're not all awakened in those realms, right? And so this particular god, he felt so much watching this bird. It was like he was just this story, and he thought, oh, he's gonna die. Oh my gosh. And suddenly he saw how much he wanted to be like that bird, his heart to be like that. He thought about his own life, like, have I ever cared about anything other than just this life here and this? And he goes, here's this benevolent bird, so beautiful, so golden. And his heart started to open as he witnessed the bird getting more and more tired and shaking his little feathers, getting scorched now greater and greater. And this god in those realms, often they describe their bodies as being 4 miles high. Could you imagine that, having a body 4 miles high? So this god, as he was seeing what was going to be this horrible tragedy in his mind, the forest destroyed and the bird, and nothing he could do, he made a vow. He said, may I become like this bird, this courage. And he just loved this bird so much. He felt such a connection that he began weeping. And then his tears just began to take him over. He began wailing and wailing and weeping and weeping and weeping and weeping. And the tears somehow began to flow down into the earth realm. And all of the fires began to go out, and people were going, where is this holy rain coming from? And as the rain, they said, for the next few hours, this God, as he just cried and cried and made vows, may I become like this parrot. May I have a heart like that. He saw something. He awakened something in himself in that, right? He awakened. And as the rain fell, they say the whole forest, all the fires went out. And then they go on to describe how all the animals, the water that hit their bodies began to heal their bodies. And this rain, they say, was the tears, not just normal tears, but the tears of compassion. And so the story goes on. It's very beautiful, but it sort of becomes that fairy tale. The bird flies up in the air and he's like, the forest is all restored. The animals are like, yay! And all the fires go out and new lotuses are blooming. But the moral of the story and why I want to talk about it is because the power in the story isn't just in the tears, it's the tears of compassion. They weren't normal tears. There's a power in compassion, that our tears of compassion, when we generate that feeling, right, of caring about others, there's great power in that. So I wanted to talk about that. And I was thinking about that Jataka story because I have, honestly, my heart has been a bit in a lot of tears of compassion right now. And I keep thinking, maybe these tears put this fire out. Will this fire go out? Why won't it stop? And even in this moment when we were playing the song to the Great Mother, I was imagining water falling out of love. And I was remembering that Jataka story, thinking, please, Mother, rain down for the benefit of the beings there. And I saw this video. I love animals so much. Oh my God, dogs and cats and deers and birds. And someone sent a video of a fireman pulling 3 dogs out of a house that were all unconscious. Maybe some of you saw that video. It's making its way all around, and he laid these 3 dogs on the ground, and 3 were unconscious. And then another fireman ran over and he put a oxygen mask and he started squeezing to get the oxygen in, because I don't know how long they've been out or unconscious or what had happened, but they were, had been abandoned in the neighborhood. And so as he's over them, you could see this love of this fireman, and his putting all his effort into getting the breath in their bodies, like, wake up. And one was like, I'm alive. And just that sweetness, and I don't know what happened to the other 2, because it stopped right there where the dog jumps up and they're like, oh, you're alive. And it's like the dog was like, yay, I've been saved, and that video just made me cry, because I feel like that's compassion. That's that fireman could, in the middle of all that, was like, we must save these 3 dogs. And there's like, work so hard to get the breath to do that. And, and that's how we are with compassion. We care. And sometimes we don't believe, and this is why I want to talk about compassion. We don't understand that compassion actually nurtures us. It's not like we're putting out energy and not getting anything back. Compassion itself heals us. This is one of its great powers, right? So I want to talk about the 6 aspects of compassion. And I knew I wasn't going to get through this whole talk already. I feel like, wow, our class goes so fast. But I want to talk about the first thing that compassion does, and it creates emotional well-being. So science is now showing us that compassionate action activates the brain's reward system. And it actually releases serotonin, and it reduces stress. right? So when we're engaged, when there's something going on and we engage with compassion, the negativity or the what we perceive as a disaster, actually we get energy from it because we are engaged in and helping. We're engaged in loving action, right? So in any moment when something's going wrong, you can start doing compassionate action, and that becomes a source of your emotional well-being. It also increases emotional strength and it enhances your resiliency, right? It's like, I think a lot about the ancestors and their resilience. You know, I think of Harriet Tubman. Some people think of Harriet Tubman as this fierce fighter. That's aside. But when I was writing about Harriet Tubman, it was this incredible love. Like, I will go save my children. Goodbye. No one's stopping me. It was like, you know, and that action, right? It's like when it's motivated by compassion can give you this incredible protection of resiliency. When we fall into the state of hatred and fear, we are vulnerable in that moment. We are not strong in that moment, right? We become very vulnerable. And compassion also improves your mood, right? Both giving and receiving compassion contributes to greater happiness. Altruism, science has shown, makes people happy, right? And compassion is an action that we can also have with ourselves, everybody. Self-compassion is the most powerful medicine that you can give. And it's important to notice how you respond to yourself when you're in suffering. A lot of times we attack ourselves. And let me tell you, I've had to learn. I've been learning so much since I had that DHL accident. I know I talked about this. Bus hit me a couple of months. I mean, a DHL truck hit Robert and I, who's on this Zoom, while we were walking. And I was so kind of hard on myself that I should get over it. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm calling it superwoman syndrome. It's like when you're a superwoman or you think you're superwoman, but you're not superwoman if you don't have compassion, because because stuff is going to go wrong, you know? And so I've had to slow down, you know, with my healing journey, and I might need another surgery on my finger and then my back. I'm like, oh no, I have to see chiropractors, and this is a little off and this is a little off. And I'm like, yes. And the self-compassion, remembering that, like, yes, I know you can't do that right now. You can't go do this thing and this thing. And it's just reminding me that suffering is an opportunity to learn what real compassion is. And this isn't something that we learn and it's a one and done, everybody. This is a journey of practice. Just like metta, we are learning how to abide in that, learning compassion. And I feel like I'm just a baby, a beginner all the time. Like, it's insight. When compassion is mixed with wisdom, liberation is inevitable, because every action becomes dynamic. Every action becomes altruistic. Okay, so this is what I wanted to also share with you. The second power aspect of compassion is your physical health. Okay, it actually lowers blood pressure and it promotes relaxation, right? So they tracking people who are doing in the healing process in hospitals. Remember, they say that people who have the compassionate mood and elder care, those who are up, helping others, cheering people up, feeling altruistic, lowers your blood pressure. It boosts immunity. Compassionate practices such as mindfulness and metta, they actually enhance your immune system, right? So where other people are maybe thinking they need to take all these supplements. So if you're having things where you're feeling your immune system is compromised, let's start with doing compassion practice, because our bodies are alive. They're responding all the time to the energy that we're putting into it, right? It's incredible. Physically, there's an increase in longevity. Studies show that people who engage in altruistic behavior tend to live longer, healthier lives. Yeah, so this is also something, right? Like, those blue zones. I love Costa Rica. It's one of my favorite places. And there's a blue zone there where there's all these people that had very little access to traditional healthcare, everybody. And they're all in their hundreds. They're reported to be some of the happiest people. And they're living like simple village life on the land, eating their papayas, growing their food, taking care of their families together. But there's a sense of that connection. So I like this. So let's talk about the third aspect of compassion. Again, this is medicine, everybody. We're looking at the medicine that we need in this new paradigm, right? This is the real medicine. This is what's going to get us through the great turning. Okay, so mental health. Compassion reduces anxiety and depression. Compassion fosters a sense of connection and purpose, which can alleviate feelings of loneliness and despair, right? So a lot of people, the sickness is loneliness and a loss of purpose in life. That could be fatal. We die a spirit death when the heart shuts down. And remember, the heart wants to be liberated. The heart, these 4 qualities that we are practicing in heart medicine, which is the metta, which is the compassion, which is the joy, and then the equanimity. Those are the 4 immeasurable qualities. In the Dharma, they're likened to the universe. They're bigger than these are qualities that grow and expand. So it's easy for us to talk about them, but until we really practice them, the practice is the liberation point, everybody. And this is why I want to encourage us to be practicing. Okay, compassion also boosts our self-esteem. Being compassionate to oneself can improve self-worth and reduce the harsh criticism in our mind. When we have a lot of self-compassion, we're not attacking ourselves. And that self-attack is the most dangerous, right? It's like we get eaten up on the inside, right? We don't even realize how harsh we are until we start doing compassion practice. A lot of times when I would do metta practice and compassion practice, I really want to encourage you to touch your body. Oftentimes on long retreats, I would find myself like this, just spontaneously, or I would kiss my hand, or I would see the vision of myself and I'd be kissing my face, right? As an act of like, oh, honey, I'm with you. I'm here for you, especially in a moment where there is pain. Emotional pain, physical pain, right? The pain of uncertainty, the pain that is happening for many of us as we witness cruelty, right? Instead of helping with the fires, people are laughing and making up, it's just like no compassion for what's going on. Some people have zero access to that. And I have compassion for that. Wow, to see all of these families and people in just the nervousness of being notified to leave your home, all of the hurt. And this happens around the world, but it's close to me being that I'm from LA. It's up close. I'm getting calls from my people, text messages. So there's a way in which I'm feeling the truth of the impacts in a different way. Okay, also with mental health, compassion encourages mindfulness, right? So compassion practice helps individuals stay present and engages them in the present moment. And this fosters mental clarity and calmness. I hope most of you felt calm when you were doing your metta practice. And it does take a kind of focus, right? We're not focused on the drama. We're focused on the heart. We're focused on our practice. We're focused on these beautiful qualities. Okay, so I'm going to have to stop there, everybody. As always, I feel like I ran out of time, but those are the first 3 aspects next week, I'm going to focus on the other three. Those are kind of like the building blocks, but the other three are really the spiritual components of the practices. And what I really want to encourage everyone is that you take up these practices of sending yourself metta. Remember that compassion is metta. Metta is love. Compassion is love. It's love turned towards suffering, right? In the face of suffering, love becomes compassion spontaneously, right? Love in the face of joy becomes what we call sympathetic joy, right? And then the equanimity of the heart is what holds all of this with a steadiness. This is how the heart becomes strong and steady. I know I always evoke my grandmother, Anna Mae French. She has some equanimity. Call it Jesus. You can borrow some equanimity and compassion from Jesus too. Jesus, Krishna, all the greats, Buddha, the great mother, all of the gods, Muhammad, the prophet, the apostles, whatever. This is beyond religion. This is universal. The good heart in all of us. And so I thank you all for being with me. We have a couple of moments. If there's any questions or anything anyone would like to share, now is a good moment. Anything about the practice that you would like to just mention or share. Also, you can always support our work on our heart medicine. We're going to be having a heart medicine retreats. You know, I've dedicated the next 20 years to heart practice. This is what my call is now. Every retreat, everything I'm working on is coming up as that. So you can join me. You can, now that you have the link, for those of you who are new, you can have the link and you can just come back with the link. You can be on our weekly list and we'll send out a reminder every single week. The recordings we will also be sending out. I'll be editing the recordings and then posting them online. And it'd be so nice to hear your voice. Does our beautiful Baba want to say anything as we're getting ready to close out?
Hello, namaste, everyone. So yeah, a very beautiful practice. For me, metta is always so special, and so much of my time right now has been centered around forgiveness. So it's really a lot of, I feel like bringing in the new year is really letting go of some of the, hurt. The lessons I remember and really keep that as a thread for, deeper connection. But reconciliation has been one of the things that's been on my heart lately. So thank you for the metta practice to remind me to really sit in that space of healing.
Yeah. Thank you for that reminder, because that's all part of it, like the forgiveness parts. And I've been studying and practicing so much, trying to read the books of all the great masters right now, going, okay, how do we, okay, the apocalypse is happening. Okay, I'm here for it. And you know what? All of them say is compassion. And even compassion for all the ones creating all the turmoil. The last thing I want to say is there's a lot of beings being misled right now, everybody, and I have compassion for that, right? Hate is contagious and it's a program. And so I feel bad. I have compassion even for those who are hating and creating all these problems and those in power right now with closed hearts. But don't underestimate the power of this, everyone. That's also the other thing that I want to talk about next week. All the great masters have left all their doctrines behind. Think about it, from every place on this earth, about the power of love and compassion, miracles and healing and joy, even in the midst of the apocalypse and the great turning and everything falling apart and collapsing systems and new systems. but let us be a part of holding that global heart frequency. We are the light. The compassion is in us. We only have to let it out. We only have to be it. And so this is the time not to shut it down, but to shine it like even brighter. It's like, no, we will open, we will awaken this heart energy. We will love. They can't take that from you. Right? And so remember that they cannot take this heart out of you. So let us remember that and do our medicine every Tuesday night. And thank you all. So as we head out, why don't we unmute so everyone could say bye? Oh, I see you, Miss Alana.
Bye.
I made it.
I know. I'm so happy.
Hi.
Hi,
Thank you.
Hi,
Maddie.
everybody.
Hi.
Thanks so much.
Everybody.
Thanks so much. Namaste.
Hi, Maddie.